just saw the new Najia release animation. That was genuinely so peak. Oh my gosh, it's 2.5 minutes. It felt longer. I wished it was a little longer. I wanted more of that. I really got into it. Um, couple elephants in the room we need to talk about though. Couple elephants we need to talk about. First of all, Colt voice. Did Colt finally get a voice actor or new voice actor? Shelly also came back, or Shelly voice acting kind of came back a little bit. The last time I heard it was for the San Diego Comic-Con the little exhibit that Brawl Stars had. But then Najia herself, like, it's so much more. It's very interesting. The Pyramid Quest people have gotten like substantial amount of lore, surprisingly. Well, with Finks, it's more so about like his place as a brawler in Star Park. But I feel like with Najia, it's much more with Najia as a person. Like, we see who Najia is because we knew how she was like trying to help people. Because we saw how Najia was trying to help people through the escape room through Pyramid Quest, but I listened to her voice line. Like, you listen to her description and you kind of think that she's like against Finks even though she works for him, but then you kind of hear her voice lines and it's much like a little bit more of like an admiration almost. And actually watching the animation makes it seem more like something a little more like they definitely see each other more as boss and employee, but rather as like, as like companions, equal colleagues almost to a certain extent. Basically just people not necessarily in love. I mean, you could say that Najia has some sort of affection for Finks. That is entirely debatable, and I can completely see that. Although people are going to be probably shipping Najia with, if not Finks, with Meeple. Which, Meeple coming out of nowhere with the whole bandages joke was actually so peak. It was really funny. That's the adult joke of the of the release animation. It was really funny though. Very interesting to think about. But Najia very much sees Finks as a sort of mentor almost. It's very interesting. That's something about the release animation that's interesting too. This is the first brawler since Kaze whose release animation had like their like backstory almost, right? And now it isn't to the same extent as Kaze, where that was like a pretty much the bulk of it, but we still have some like different moments of Najia's life that we kind of see here. I just watched it like once, so I can't really go too deep into it. But she's like definitely a smart person. She was in like a fast food, put the fries in the bag and all that, and she saw Pyramid Quest and most likely wanted to do something more, but she also wanted to do something where she can like help people. So she probably told that to Finks in like the job application and stuff. Actually, not really, because I don't know if it was like a job application. I think Finks was just like, man, you don't want to leave, so you probably just want to stay here, right? Yeah. I don't know. I wanted to play Najia before, and now I want to play her even more after the release animation. I think that's really. I just thought it was really good. But yeah, this is probably one of my favorite release animations like ever. I think this is what a release animation should be, almost like a gold standard. It should introduce the brawler, but in a way that's not only unique in that reference, but it's also in reference to the fact that they're not only brawlers in Star Park, but they are, for the most part, humans. or humanoid creatures. And I think that's really important, especially if they want to go further into the whole lore of the whole game and that sort. It's just that's what I think though. Um, what I think they should do, and I've told this to some friends, and I think they should really do this. They said that records is the records. I wouldn't say records before was useless. I'd say now it's useless though. But I know how they can fix it. I know how they can fix records. So they've said at San Diego Comic-Con that they wanted to add more lore to Brawl Stars in the game. In the game or like elsewhere, right? Just in general, they want to add more lore to Brawl Stars. I think what they can do with records is that they can have that sort of achievement system, but with with the brawlers themselves, what they can do is that it could be like a file, like some file about the brawler, and it's redacted as like the Epstein list initially, right? But then as you like win games, like a bunch of games with that specific brawler, those parts start to get more unredacted. And so you learn more about the brawler. And it could just be like a page. Sort of like in Uma Musume, how there's the whole like the log thing where you can see like, oh, their birthday, their voice actor, they're like, fun facts about them. I think it'd be really interesting, and it would help give people some more insight to the characters. Because with something like League of Legends, like there's the splash art, and then there's like the larger story on the website, and then there's the then there's like their release animation, right? That's like the bare minimum that, from what I've seen, like a champion gets, But Brawl Stars, it's oftentimes like a little blurb, a release animation, and like sometimes that's it. Like for the longest time, that's what all the representation people got, besides maybe a skin. Jae Young doesn't even have a skin. Literally just not even old, like a middle-aged man who works at Star Park somewhere, who does karaoke and stuff. I would like to see more of like Jae Young lore. Like, okay, well, where specifically does he work at Star Park before he goes to the club and like drinks or whatever, right? Drinks and like sings and dances and all that, right? Like that's something I feel like they can improve with. It's not necessarily lore-wise, yes, I do want them to do more with lore, but I also want them to do more with the specific characters that they're building up. Because that can oftentimes lead to explanations in the lore. Like for Colette, for example. We know that Colette is like the obsessive one who like has a whole scrapbook with like a bunch of stuff regarding the brawlers. But like when someone like Sirius releases, right? Like Sirius release, I was just wondering, like, would she know everything about Sirius or would she know nothing about Sirius? Would she connect the dots and think that Sirius is different from like the dude from before? I don't know, right? It's just so interesting to me, like especially with Colette. Colette's my favorite brawler, but Colette, like to me, is also like very interesting lore wise because of her obsession with all the brawlers. The lore implications is like very interesting to me. Like the lore, like the whole thing with like Sirius and stuff, and also with just like new brawlers, right? This also puts into question like how would you know that someone is a brawler? You know what I mean? This would also put into question like how would people know? Like is it just everybody on an island? Anybody who's on the island is a brawler? Because like what about someone like Trunk? Like Trunk is a bunch of ants. Are all the ants considered brawlers, or are brawlers just like the one-all term for people who are just affected by the gems? It's very interesting stuff that I think they could do in like a TV show. I am so completely down for a TV show that is sort of structured like Nichijou, that focuses on the gift shop trio doing. So you have Nichijou, right? Nichijou follows like the three girls, but then there's like other people that the show follows. That's what I think they could do with the gift shop trio. I would write for that. I will pitch to Supercell a pilot script for that. you know, I just think a TV show, like, I don't think a movie would do Brawl Stars any justice, especially with its characters. I genuinely think that a TV show is probably the best course of action, or like just some like continuing series could be really good. I think they could even, if they hire or have like an actual animation team, I could see them even doing like 30-minute long things about like a specific trio, you know? Like, you know, Gift Shop has to go like restock stuff, or like, oh, it's about to be summer. So, like, maybe Griff has to go talk to, like, Buzz, and there's some shenanigans there at the Velocirapids with, like the Enchanted Forest and stuff. And then Colette and Edgar have to go, like, get stuff for people to cool off. Like, so they decide to go to the Snowtail to get, like, Lou's snow cone machine or something. Or something like that. It's just very interesting. Maybe Supercell should just hire me. Just hire me. Yeah, just yeah, just hire me. That's the best course of action. You hire me, game shoots up to the sky, baby. Yeah, that's all I really wanted to talk about. Um the moral of the story is that Najia is cool, and the release animation is even cooler. I like it. Do more with your characters, please, Supercell. Lore-wise, it'd be really cool, especially for the people like who are, you know, especially for people who like a specific character. You could probably give more love to like Jaya. It'd be, I don't know. Yeah, Najia release, cool. See ya.